How to link O2.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Art Skills Sharing. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. It's great to have you and to know that you're supporting us all behind your screens. So tonight is the finale / exhibition of our third season of the Art Skills course. And it's a chance for the members to celebrate and share their work with you. We're joined tonight by an amazing mix of friends, family, Drive Project members and other Bravo 22 members. We really can't believe that we've managed to convince the lovely artist Al Johnson to lead her third course online, but she did. And over the last 6 weeks, we've been delving into the world of painting with acrylics. We've also built new friendships, learned how to paint in colour, developed skills and increased confidence. And I can confidently say that I think we're here tonight with at least 15 new artists. So without further ado, I'll hand you to Al Johnson, who'll get us started with tonight's sharing.
Thank you, Stella, that's wonderful. And welcome everyone. First of all, I want to introduce you to our participants, our lovely group, who've been just brilliant all through, and you'll see the amazing work that they've produced. So can you all give a wave to our audience? Fantastic, thank you. So I'm Al Johnson, I'm curator of art for Bravo 22. And this season, as Stella said, we've been making paintings. We've worked with acrylics, which has been a new skill for lots of us. And we've been creating work, critiquing it, looking at the work of other painters. Our intentions were to make wonderful paintings, of course, and to learn how to paint, but also to work together, to enjoy working together, to boost our confidence and self-esteem. And I think that's really happened. I think we've had some fantastic outcomes from this course. I can't be prouder than I am of our group. They've been fantastic. So what we're going to do is have a look at some of the work. We did a whole variety of things. We've only been on the course for 6 weeks, but we've got through an awful lot in that time. So what we did to start with was to think about colour mixing, about colour itself, about how you mix colours, how you identify colours, the difference between different sorts of paints. We learned about primary, secondary and tertiary colours. We made colour wheels. We did all sorts of preparation for making a painting. So let's have a look at what some of the things that were produced in that time. So if you can do a line of the blues, I've started mixing these, but line of the blues, in the middle, line of the reds, and at the bottom, a line of the yellows. And try and keep them in the same order. So if this is the system reds, if this is the system reds, you could mark it so that you can see what it is. So you've got a sense of which is which. And then I'm going to mix a bit of that blue, so a bit of the cobalt, with, and each time remember to take your brush and clean it with blue. Now I actually did that the wrong way around, because I should always mix the darker colour into the lighter colour. Now if you want to, when you've got to this stage in your sketchbook, your first mark in your sketchbook can be like that, and then you can write down mixture of X6 cobalt and X6 magenta. Okay, So you've got a record. I don't want you to paint the thing. I just want you to see if you can mix the colours, and then just do stripes of the colours on your in your sketchbook. So we're going to do a colour wheel. Wow, that was a great start, wasn't it? So what I want to do is to just to chat to some of our wonderful participants about how you felt about the colour mixing. So I'm going to introduce you first. We've got Wayne and Adje and Kirsty. And I'm going to ask you all the same question. What did you learn about colour? Because colour is quite tricky, isn't it? I think this is something we all discovered. It's not as easy as it looks. So Wayne, let me start with you. What did you learn about colour?
Well, I've been painting for a little while, and I've never stopped to do a colour wheel or chart it in a book. But since I've done colour wheel, I've now started doing colour wheels for skin tones, so I can find out which colours go with what. So yeah, the book is kind of like my little golden book of guides.
Brilliant. That's lovely. And I think, you know, keeping a sketchbook is really, really important, and a colour notes book. Fantastic. Thanks, Wayne. Adje, what did you learn?
I, like a lot of other people, only thought there was one red, one blue, one green, one yellow, one white, one black. And I found out there are different shades of red, white, of the colours. And by mixing these different shades, you get a different colour altogether. You can mix a yellow and a red of one colour to make an orange, and then do it with another yellow and red, and you have a different coloured orange altogether.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that the colours are standardised. You know, that if you buy a cadmium red, it will be the same cadmium red, and of course they're not. No, so that's another reason why the sketchbook is useful, to keep the colour notes. Brilliant. And Kirsty, what did you learn about colour? You've got wonderful coloured hair there, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I learned a different brand paints have got different viscosities, so mixing them, you come up with different colours completely. Yeah,
absolutely. The paint varies so much that you have to kind of get to know the different kinds of paints. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. And we're going to move on to our next project, which was a monochrome painting. So once we'd started to look at colour and to think about how colour works, we did a still life, and we collected 3 objects. Sorry, I got distracted there because I'm listening to the football lads, the football supporters outside in the street. Sorry, do apologise. They're hooting. I think we might have won. So we collected a set of 3 objects of the same colour, and made a monochrome still life. And with that, we particularly looked at light, how light affects objects, and it is light that gives us the sense of 3D. Painting's an illusion, of course. You're looking at a flat image, but you're wanting to believe in it, and it is light that makes us do that. So let's have a look at some of the still lives, and we've got some of the photographs that people initially took of their objects alongside the still lives. So let's have a look at those. Wow, are you impressed? I hope you are. You remember, for a lot of our participants, this was the very first painting of a set of real objects that they'd ever done. So I think they were absolutely amazing. Well done, everyone. So the next thing we did was landscape painting. I told you it was a whistle-stop tour through painting techniques. The landscape project was the next thing, and that was based on a landscape I love. Normally we would, if landscape painting is best done outside, and if you can get out into the landscape, that's great, but not everyone can, and also we can't on Zoom. So what we did was took photographs, and it was important to take the photographs yourself, because you then have not just your photograph in front of you, but the memory of the place, and to choose a place that meant something. And the photographs became the basis for the landscape, but the landscapes didn't have to be a photographic version. They didn't have to be exactly like the photographs. They could expand on the photographs, and that's something we really stressed about. You don't have to paint a photograph. You can do all sorts of other things. So let's have a look at some of those landscapes. I think you're going to be impressed. Wow, those are amazing, aren't they? Brilliant. And again, you know, people, the very first landscape, lots of people have painted. So I'm going to introduce you to some more people from our lovely group. Dan, give us a wave. Chris, Dave, Michelle, and Christine. So the question I'm posing to you is, what was the landscape you photographed and then painted? So with some of the landscapes, we could see the progression through the landscape, but why did you choose that landscape? So let's start with Christine. What did you choose, Christine?
Well, I chose Scotland because it was a new venture for me recently, and I just loved the landscape coming in, you know, on the boat to Cairnryan. It was just absolutely stunning, beautiful.
Lovely and wonderful painting you made of it. Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you.
Chris, what did you choose?
I chose, it's on the Cumbrian coast, and it was a sunset, but it was taken, the photograph was taken on the beach, but it was the last time that I was with my wife, my daughter and husband, before my wife died, on that, or in that area at that time. So sunset was quite poignant, and yeah, it meant a lot.
Yeah, it's a very, very emotional landscape for you. Fantastic, thank you. Michelle, what did you choose?
So I chose a landscape from a Greek island called Skiros, and I started going there in 2009, and the peace and tranquility was the start of my healing journey.
We've lost your sound, Michelle. So sorry. Can you just tell us that last bit again?
It's an island, a Greek island called Skiros.
Right.
And I started going there.
It was healing for you.
Yeah, it was the start of my healing journey there.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Dave, what did you choose?
It's a place in Cyprus called the Bay of Caves, and it's a memory that the last holiday that we had before the lockdown. Again, it's very poignant and brings back some really good memories.
Brilliant. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
And Dan, what did you choose?
Mine was a picture of the Canadian Rockies. I was there training there in Canada in 2004, and I found it a really sort of adventurous and awe-inspiring place, especially the area around Banff. And I really wanted to inspire that sense of adventure in my children, for them to get out there and explore the world.
Fantastic, thank you. I mean, it's so interesting how you've all chosen places that really matter to you, and you've painted from as an emotional response, and that's really, really important in painting. It's about responding to something that matters. Fantastic, thank you so much. Brilliant. So we're moving on to our final project. Now, we did a project, it was in two parts really, this final project. It was, we were thinking about portraiture and about self-portraits, and there's, you know, a long tradition of artists painting themselves, partly because they're there, because you've always got yourself there. But self-portraiture is fascinating, actually. And the first project was to paint a series of self-portraits, and to make them representational. And we talked a lot about skin, you know, how to mix skin tones and how to develop the features. And so we talked a lot about that. And then we went on to paint a non-representational self-portrait, which is a much more kind of conceptual idea, really. And it was whether you could kind of create a set of objects that would tell your story, or find a landscape that would tell your story. And so we've got two things: self-portraits that are based on representation and self-portraits that are based on non-representation, and they are amazing. Let's have a look. was so brilliant. Thank you so much. I hope there's not a dry eye in the house. Right, I'm going to set you all off. So fantastic. Thank you so much. We put the statements in because the portraits, or the non-representational portraits, are so wide-ranging that we felt that it would be good to have a bit of context. Right, so I've got a lovely group for our last discussion. I lost my signal there in the middle, by the way, but I'm glad I'm back. So I'm going to ask you that these are the big questions, actually, because this is about the whole course. So you guys get to the difficult questions. And I'm going to introduce you first of all, Sallyanne. Give us a wave, Sallyanne. Sheila, Julian, Sara, and Mick. Fantastic. Now, your questions are the kind of big questions. So what did you find the most challenging? That's the first one. And then what did you enjoy the most? So let's start with Sallyanne. What did you find challenging, Sallyanne, on the course?
Probably mostly giving myself the permission to actually allow myself to paint, to do it.
Brilliant. And what did you enjoy?
I think messing around with the paints and the textures and playing with the colours.
Fantastic, thank you. Yeah, giving yourself permission to do nice things is sometimes hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should all do that more. Sheila, what did you find challenging?
I found the monochrome and the landscape most challenging because they had to be recognisable items and places. So people know the Eildon Hills and the River Tweed. So the Eildon Hills had to look like the Eildon Hills, and I couldn't indulge my imagination.
Yes, you feel a bit of responsibility with the landscape, don't you, to get it right. What did you enjoy the most?
The non-representational self-portrait, because there I could play with colour, play with effects like the modelling paste, play with the colours, throw the colours on quite literally if I wished, and just be myself and let my imagination run riot and use metaphor to tell my story.
Fantastic. And it was a wonderful painting, that your last painting. Lovely. Thank you. Julian, what did you find challenging?
I found the most challenging for me was doing the self-portrait, was trying to get the skin tones correct, and I haven't appreciated how many different tones of colour there could be in a face, and that was a real challenge to get right.
Julian, I'll just repeat it. I think I can't hear you very well, so I'm just going to repeat what you just said. I think you found getting the skin tones. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds better. What did you enjoy?
And it involved sort of mixing colours that I wouldn't have thought would produce the end result that I wanted, kind of thing. And,
right. Yeah. So it's the surprise sometimes, isn't it? To you do kind of painting and you're surprised by what comes out.
Lost your audio now.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Julian. Mick, what did you find the most challenging?
Probably what everybody else has said, but really trying to get down what I can see and get an accurate representation on the paper or the canvas.
Yeah.
Sometimes more successful than other times.
Yeah, it is hard, and you do feel a kind of like you want to get it right, don't you? But of course there isn't really a right. What did you enjoy the most?
Well, apart from seeing everybody on a Thursday when we all got together,
yeah,
I tried a bit of going a bit abstract, and I've got some very pleasing results, and going on from trying to represent everything accurately, just slap the paint on and see what happens and watch something develop in front of your eyes.
Yeah, it's lovely. And you worked out some fantastic techniques, didn't you, for applying the paint, including plastic bags.
Yeah.
Don't try it at home. Or try it at home.
I wasn't wearing them, the paint was on the plastic.
Yeah. Sarah, what did you find most challenging?
Two things actually. The first one is my self-induced pressure on myself to keep up with everybody in the first few weeks. And the second one is I've got the memory of a goldfish, so I really struggled with the circle of colours to begin with.
Yeah. I'll tell you a secret. Sarah always thinks she can't do it, and she always comes up with amazing stuff. So, yeah, we just don't believe her anymore. And what did you enjoy most, Sarah?
I really loved the last project. I did a course with the RBL a couple of weeks before, so that with the Bravo to really really affect the way that speech failing. I really affected the way that I think. Hence the reason that whole drawing is so positive.
Yeah.
So big thank you to everybody.
Oh, thank you. Fantastic. Thank you all very much. That's brilliant. Well, we have come to the end of our sharing. Wonderful work. Thank you. I mean, it's just always such a privilege to work with you all. You always rise to the challenge. You know, we've had to learn how to do this, do these online Zoom workshops, and it's not easy for anyone actually, and not easy for the participants. And you're just brilliant. You get on with you do everything I tell you, which is always good. And you always rise to the challenge. And as the weeks progress, people are coming in with more and more ideas and plans. And as I always say, it's not about the end product, it's about the process. And it's getting involved in the process and getting your ideas together and coming up with amazing things. So brilliant. Thank you so much. You've all been fantastic, and it's been fantastic to work with you and for you. And I also want to just say thank you to Stella and Sue, without whom none of this would happen. They're absolutely brilliant behind the scenes, sorting everything out. And I know that you all know, all our participants know how important they are to this project. It's a big participatory team effort on all our parts. So thank you for having me. Thank you very much. Take care. I'm going to hand you back to Stella now.
Amazing, thank you. And of course we can't go without thanking Al Thompson, without whom none of this would be possible. She's curated such a wonderful course and facilitated this artwork that you've seen tonight, which has been truly incredible. So thank you, Al. From me, Sue, and everyone, it's just been wonderful. And of course, thank you to all our participants for being here for the whole 6 weeks. And I mean, doing all these painting, which I just look at all the time and I'm like, how do they do this? And they come in saying they're not artists, and that's a lie, they are. And of course, thank you to the Royal British Legion for making it possible, and all the Drive Project members, and for all of you watching and supporting us there from behind your screens. So now I'd love for all the participants of the course to give a big wave and a thank you and a cheer, so you can come off mute. And everyone who is behind your screen, please give them a massive applause and some whoops, and write in the chat box, because they've been amazing. So thank you all for tonight.
Woo! Thank you,
great, thank you.